Viewers are familiar with the story. It's great to see you again, State Rep. Can you share where things stand right now in your effort to end this censure so you can actually speak out?
Things are moving quickly. We have filed an emergency appeal in the First Circuit Court of Appeals. And so that is moving forward. And we'll be looking for a quick response because my 9,000 constituents are disenfranchised every day that I cannot speak or vote on their behalf. I'm headed to session from here and I won't be able to represent them fully.
Yeah, when we first spoke with you a while back when this first initially happened, that was the big takeaway. Not censuring you, but really censuring your constituents. If you don't have a voice, you were elected to speak for those constituents, as you say, 9,000. If you're not speaking, they're not being heard. And again, that was from the leader of the House there. But in her ruling, I wanted to show you this. The judge appears to side with state legislative leaders there in the state of Maine, writing, quote, "In short, Speaker Fecto's imposition of the sanction plainly identified in the House of Representatives rule that governs when House members are found in breach of House rules is a legislative act that does not, according to binding case law and within the context of this censure, qualify for the narrow exception carved out for conduct of extraordinary character. The court therefore denies the motion for preliminary injunction." When you got this, and obviously there's a lot of legal jargon here, right? But obviously, if you're dealing with appeals, I'm sure you're dealing with attorneys as well. What was the reaction to that? Was that somewhat expected?
Legislative immunity is meant to be used to actually support the First Amendment. And in this case, it's being used to silence my First Amendment right to free speech and thereby my constituents. And so we have to seek recourse for that reason. Because think about this. If the majority can, by a simple majority vote, silence a member of the minority and their constituents, their district, what a terrible precedent that sets moving forward. And so this is much bigger picture than even just my district. This is protecting the First Amendment for folks throughout Maine, throughout the country.
Yeah. And I think it goes back to even why we're having this discussion, why you're going through all these legal challenges to begin with. You were stating a fact. Is that right? I mean, we're acknowledging reality that a biological male was able to compete in the girls' division and then beat out all the other women. I mean, isn't that silly that this is ultimately what it stems from?
We've seen the governor here in Maine, we've seen the legislative majority warring with biological reality. And this is an extension of that. It's political retaliation for speaking the truth, speaking up for women and girls' rights. And that cannot be allowed to stand.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to the Trump administration suing your governor, Janet Mills, over the compliance or lack of compliance with Title IX regarding women's sports. So we spoke with two state senators from Maine about this very topic here on National Report. And it was State Senator Sue Bernard appearing to pin the blame for that lawsuit on Maine's governor. Watch this.
This is just amazing. We have not wanted to get to this point at all. I think that the feds have been very patient with Maine. And the fact of the matter is, more people in Maine, more than 60% of the people in Maine, believe that only girls should be in girls' competitive sports. And so I want to thank the president for coming forward with this. And it's not something that they asked for. It's something that our governor asked for.
So clearly you have those in the upper chamber that see this as wrong. And again, as Emma pointed out, you were standing up for women, for girls in competition, having to compete with males. Now you have executive orders from the President of the United States helping to identify a woman and a male, need it or not. And then aside from that, Title IX seemingly should be on your side within some of these appeals process here. Have you heard from other constituents about this and what you're going through? What are their reactions?
In the communications from my constituents and folks more broadly across the state, it is clear that Governor Mills does not speak for the vast majority of Mainers who don't want to see biological males in girls' sports, who don't want to see Governor Mills and the Democrat majority continue to discriminate against women and girls in Maine. But unfortunately, as we've heard from Governor Mills, she's gone on the record and said, "I'm happy to go to court," and has complete disregard for the young women who are being injured by this policy in our state.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.